Claire will be like, who are all these people? Okay, the time is 6 p.m. and the August 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Vernon Hills Park Board of Commissioners is called to order. With those present, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Beaumont,
Here.
Commissioner Robbins,
Here.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Here.
Vice President Dorhofer, President Senti.
Here. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and or non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. The omnibus vote agenda items are A, minutes of the regular board meeting, July 24th, 2025. B, minutes of the closed session, July 24th, 2025. C, payables and payroll through August 28th, 2025 in the amount of $903,501.92. May I have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
President Senti.
Yes. Superintendent Mitchell, are there any changes to the financial reports on file for the period ending July 31st, 2025?
No, sir.
Thank you. At this time, the board will hear remarks from the public. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and no board response will be given. Are there any remarks to be heard? Seeing none, we will move on. The board would like to welcome our new full-time staff to the district. Director Laporte, would you please make the introductions?
Sure. I'm actually going to turn it over to the their managing supervisors in a minute. But we've had a lot of new faces, so we wanted to bring forward our staff. We don't do this very often, but we think that the staff are the lifeblood of our organization. So we definitely wanted to give you all a chance to meet these wonderful people and for them to meet you. So I'm going to turn over to Lacey first, if you don't mind, and introduce your three. They can explain who they are, what they do, and how they've come to the district or what they do for us, however way you want.
So on our far right, we have Kelly, who has been with us for a while. She is our new customer service supervisor, so she's overseeing all of the staff up at the front desk, and she's also handling all the rentals in the facility. And then we're skipping over to Edziri, who is our next newest, and she came to us from Mundelein, and actually she was at Lifetime Fitness for a little while, and Edziri is one of our newest full-time customer service reps. And then last on the left, we have Sumi, who is our very newest hire, who is also up at the front desk full-time. So very happy to have all of these ladies on our team.
We'll go over to, oh yeah, you guys want to say? Yeah, you guys want to, we can start with Kelly, and you want to?
40-minute speech, 40-minute speech.
I've been here almost 2 years now, started out at the front desk and then kind of moved my way up. I had the opportunity to do some teaching with the preschool and work with panels and things like that. So I've been very honored to be asked to move up when the position opened and to be able to support not only all of our rec staff and everyone here at the park district, but the community. So thank you.
Kelly, give me your best one.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Aziri. I, like Lacey mentioned, I have worked at the Mundelein Park District for 5 years. I also coach track and field at Mundelein High School. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Oh no, you have to take a picture. I'm right here.
And Sumi.
Hello everyone. I have started with PALS from last year, 2024 August, with Miss Hannah. Then I got this opportunity to work here as a customer service team face here. And try my best to serve to the community. Thank you.
My husband.
I'm gonna go over to Mark now.
Here we have Brian Loyola. He's been with us since the middle of May. Brian has been in the landscaping industry since he was about 17 years old, I'd say. He came to us from Wheeling Park District and owning his own landscape company. He takes pride in his work. He's shown that every day that he comes to work. He's been great for us, so I just wanted to introduce you to him. And you see him in the parks. What park do you? Century Park, correct? Yep. Yeah. So he's helping maintain Century Park daily. So if you happen to see him around, say hi.
Will do.
Photo shoot.
I know. Thank you.
We'll continue left. We'll go with Tom. Oh, what? What? Tom.
I don't have anyone new.
Oh, Jay, you want to introduce? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That's what you're telling me. Brian, I'm sorry. Would you like to have an opportunity to speak and introduce yourself? Sorry. Thank you.
My name is Brian, like Mark said, and I come from Waiting Park District, and I've been here probably like 4 months already. And that's it.
All right, Tom or Jay, would you like to introduce Maria?
We have Maria, who was a PAL director before, but now she's moved into our recreation supervisor role as a youth and adult program supervisor. Maria's very capable of speaking for herself.
I'm Maria Ibesabanas, and I've been with the Park District since 2017 for the before and after school program, and I was given the opportunity to take on a role full-time and a brand new role for general programming, so hopefully I'm able to serve your community and really find out what the community really wants and for youth and adults, and kind of go from there. It's brand new, so kind of hoping that I'm able to fulfill and see what the interests are.
I'm happy to introduce Victoria Price. She is right now been promoted to the full-time position of IT and Systems Coordinator. And as most of you are familiar with Victoria's Face, she has been working with the district since 2020 at Sullivan Community Center at the customer service representative position, and then moved into the IT, part-time assistant position as well. So we're just very happy. Randy and I are happy to have her extra support in the admin team. Thank you.
Victoria, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I know all of you. It's Nancy. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So I've lived in Vernon Hills for 11 years now, and honestly, I'm really proud of my job because I get to actually see the benefits of what I'm doing to support my community with the recreation and parks and everything. It's just really satisfying, and I'm work happy every day.
Awesome. Can't beat that.
All right, if we can, we got a new staff and a board picture. By chance?
Everybody can just come up here and I'll stand over here.
Group hug.
Pyramid, maybe?
Pyramid.
You're the base.
Let me I'm gonna take one off. Let me see if I can. Nope.
Do you need to come back here more, Cheryl?
You want to come behind the table?
Yeah, we got one more. Thanks. Just try to scooch. I don't want Bruce to. Okay. All right, everybody look.
Smile.
I got this one. Thank you, I got it.
Well, formal welcome to you guys. That's a little late, but in your new position, and it's really nice for us. We don't always have the opportunity to have staff come to the board meeting and present to the public as well for the people who watch on TV. So thank you for all you do. You make us look good, and I'm glad that you can come this evening. Feel free if you want to leave and you have other things to do, and also feel free to stay if you want to do that too. No pressure. Okay, so moving along, we're going to have board reports, or staff reports.
We have additional guests that we've invited
Oh, I'm
tonight.
sorry. I was waiting. I'm like, are we not going to do that first? Okay, no, we are going to do that first. I missed it. At this time, the board would like to welcome Kelly Smith and Casey Woodrich from the SRA CLC for their annual update. Please feel free and stand up and speak into the microphone. And thank you for coming, and we'd love to hear what you want to tell us about.
Or a duo. Yeah, as you said, my name is Kelly Smith. I'm the superintendent of recreation for the Special Recreation Association of Central Lake County, and I'm Cassie Woodrich. I'm the superintendent of administrative services. We're here in lieu of our executive director, John Buckner, who's in Canada fishing. So you guys are lucky enough to get us. It is my job to report on our recreation department, and she'll be reporting on our admin department. But on behalf of our entire agency, I want to say thank you to the Vernon Hills Park District and your staff and board for being such an excellent supporter of our agency and people in your community with disabilities. I feel like your willingness to always support us puts us in your community a whole lot. And that goes by, facility space and us feeling welcome here and you accepting the people that we bring into your facilities. So that goes a really long way for us. We really love being here at your district. Some of the programs that are here and hard and fast here, our adult day program, we have 4 sites. This is ever growing. We see these individuals daily to support their living skills, their recreation desires, and to give them a sense of community and belonging into the community. So we have a solo site at the Hartman Pavilion, which is wonderful. I was just there the other day. It houses us perfectly. 12 individuals come every day and we feel right at home. So thank you for that. I saw while I was over there how perfectly striped our football field is. So thank you for that. We have tons of Special Olympics teams, and a lot of them happen right here in Vernon Hills. Football, softball, Premier Fields over at Deer Path Park is always fun to watch. We're in the pool. We thank you to Tom Ritter, who partnered us with the British Swim School, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. We've been able to triple the amount of swim lessons we offer through that partnership, and one of my favorite parts is we're now able to provide swimming lessons to adults. And that seems a little odd, but when you work with our population, it's such an important skill to have, and they don't necessarily always find a home in swimming lessons. So being able to serve the adult population has been crucial for us. Also, we had biggest summer camp right here in Vernon Hills. We were housed at the Hawthorne School for Young Learners. Beautiful site, I know, right here next to the Sullivan Center. Able to use the playground as much as we wanted, which was really helpful for them. And we were at capacity. We were beyond capacity, to be honest with you. We went beyond our maximums to serve as many people as we safely could. So that went really, really well. Some other great examples, we have a Showstoppers program that does theater here on your guys' stage. They'll be practicing again next week for Wizard of Oz, it is. And, just the little things your staff do for us. Like, we're not IT professionals, so getting our microphones going is hard for us. So you guys have done all those little things to make us want to be in the district and been a crucial partner to us. So again, on behalf of the district, thank you. And then Cassie has an update. Sure. So I oversee Teresa, who's in charge of staffing and inclusion, and we really shook some things last year. We came to our board and expressed that we were failing in terms of supporting your participants within the Park District summer camps. We were more like a staffing agency than we were specialized in disability. So our board listened, and through a lot of meetings, we made an addendum to our policy where our member agencies could opt into hiring summer camp inclusion aides. We had great success. Vernon Hills was one of the 5 that opted in. You had 6 inclusions where Anna and Julie at the time had hired inclusion aides. Teresa came in and trained all of your staff at camp on disability awareness, and that person specifically on what their needs were. We found a lot of success in it. Anna called us when there was struggles in camp, and we were able to be here to support in the moment versus somebody called out, we have 5 people that we need to support right now. We can't do that for you. We could now. So it's an ever-going evaluation. We did send out an evaluation to parents and then also your supervisors to get a little bit more feedback on how it went in hopes that we can continue to improve that process for your staff, for our staff, and for your participants. And then the last thing that I oversee is our foundation, and we are going to have our tree festival on November 15th at the Hawthorne Woods Country Club. If you are interested, the invitations will be at our next board meeting for Matt to bring in for you.
Yeah. You want to talk, actually, could you talk about the WeFit program, which is also,
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. So what Matt is referencing is the We Serve program, which is a program that we brought into our agency. It was traditionally housed at the Mundelein Area Park District, but this program brings together veterans, and we actually added military families and then their support system, so we call them like their plus ones, their wives. And we work with our districts, including the Vernon Hills Park District, to provide memberships at no cost to the veteran. It's a 1-year membership, and then the hope is that they are comfortable, familiar. They get to bring that partner that helps them through that to develop a relationship with the fitness. So here at Vernon Hills, we have the fitness membership. We also have fitness memberships at Mundelein, and then they have some golf options at Grays Lake, Round Lake. We have aquatic memberships in Libertyville. So a veteran comes to us, we'll do an intake, determine what their level of disability is, and what we're learning is pretty much all of our veterans have some level of disability. And it's not something that I can even recognize as a practitioner of disability, but they come forward with their paperwork from discharge, and we see that these invisible disabilities really, and so we meet with them, we do an intake, we help them assess their situation and determine what membership would be beneficial for them and their family, whether it's fitness to work through a physical disability, or maybe it's an aquatic membership to spend time with family and be in a place that they feel safe. So that's the primary aspect of We Serve for the veterans, but we also offer traditional recreation programming, and that's to embrace camaraderie. And what we're finding is actually kind of funny. We always do all our programming for the veteran plus one, and it's usually their wife, and they're dragging them in. They say, come on, we're gonna sign up for this, because they have a lot of hesitations for that types of things. So that was one of the key findings that we found, was when we open up our recreation programming, not only for those military professionals, we add that plus one, we're getting a whole lot more participation, because it's that little nudge they need to get into our programs to bring that person of comfort with them. So we got all kinds of things like we have golf outings, and they do fitness pretty much every day of the week in some aspect, whether it's aquatics. They do simulator golf. They do. They just took a trip to the Botanic Gardens. So it's everything from just social stuff to keeping them active in the community. So if you're working here at the desk, you new ladies, and you have someone that identifies as a military person, please send them our way, because we can help initiate that membership for them.
We took over the program, I think, 2 years ago, right? And we had probably 7 active members, and I think Margaret just did like her 90-something intake. So in 2 years, that program has really, really grown.
We really kind of even had to pump the brakes on the outreach, because it's promoting itself, right? They have their outside communities at the Legions and so forth, and they're telling each other about the programs, about the friendships they've made, and about the opportunities presented to them. So it's promoting itself. Thanks for reminding me that.
Thank you. Do any board members have questions? Well, Kelly and Cassie, thank you so much for coming. We're really proud to be part of the SRA CLC. You really do so much for us, and we appreciate that. The Park District is all about everyone being welcome, and so making sure that that's every individual, and that they have access to our facilities and parks. And you guys do such a good job partnering with us and helping us do that for everyone here. So thanks a lot about that. Is there anything else that we can be doing that would make your job easier?
Like I said, as a district, you guys are doing a marvelous job. one of the biggies with, not necessarily here, but as a whole, is providing that space for us. And, you know, athletic fields are huge, gym space in the winter is hard to come by. The opening up the pools for the swim lessons for us has been so helpful. You guys are a really generous member agency for us, so I would say keep up the good work. It's time to open your doors for us. And you know, give us a little grace if we have interesting behavior or something within your walls.
That's
We're
okay.
working hard at it.
Well, we'll let John know that we're glad he took a vacation and we had a chance to have you guys here, and we'll see him next year. But thanks for coming out this evening.
Thanks, thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
At this time, the board will hear staff reports. Finance and HR Superintendent Jessica Mitchell is up first.
In July, the district received $124,000 in property tax revenue. The total year-to-date taxes received is $3,454,000, or 52.13% of the $6,626,631 of the adjusted 2024 property tax extension. As of July 31st, the district has $8,233,662 in cash and investments, $4,023,000 in investments and 20 certificates of deposit and treasury bills with various maturing dates over the next 60 months. And $4,209,000 is available for cash flow purposes. In July, our capital expenditures were $38,355, and investment income generated in July was $22,233. Auditors Lauterbach and Amon continue to work with the district's finance team to advance the audit process. I spoke with one of our representatives today, Joe, and we are expected to get the draft tomorrow to staff to review before we pass it on to Commissioner Robbins. Ordinance 5-25 is an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds between the capital fund to the Recreation and Lakeview Fitness Fund. The transfer is due to over-expenditure capital funds from projects that can be allocated to recreation and Lakeview Fitness to stay within the appropriated amounts per each fund outlined in fiscal year 24-25 budget and appropriation ordinance 4-24. Just one thing that I'll comment on outside of finance and on the topic of human resources is that our HR manager, Shauna Heck, he is working very closely with Anna Swain, our recreation supervisor for school age programs, to recruit PAL staff. We're in desperate need of AM morning instructors. And also just want to thank our marketing team for helping push out more information about that, because they're really in need of the help right now, and any interested candidates are asked to go to apply at the website. That concludes my report, unless there's any questions or comments.
Any questions? And thank you, Commissioner Robbins, for your work during this time of year with Jessica and on the audit committee. So, you're welcome. Thank you. Next up is our Recreation Superintendent, Tom Ritter.
Good evening. Well, as we're winding down our summer, we had our last movie in the park last week over at Deer Path Park. We showed Wonka. So as we move into the fall, I just wanted to highlight a few of our upcoming events. On Saturday, September 27th, we'll be hosting our annual Worldwide Day of Play, which is getting people off their electronics and outside. We do a lot of traditional activities. I usually highlight that we do things such as egg tosses, treasure hunts, potato stack races, hula hoop contests. We use the sand volleyball court to do like a treasure hunt for the kids. We bury some stuff in the sand. So it's just a nice day for people to come out. There's no registration, there's no fee. Just a chance to come out and enjoy a day in the park. And we usually get somewhere between 150 and 200 people to attend. And that's over at the Century Park Pavilion from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then the following week, Thursday, October 2nd, we'll be hosting our Scarecrow Fest, which we've been doing for quite a few years now. It's at 4 p.m. and with teams or families, they sign up. We kind of provide the infrastructure, the cross or the stake that the Scarecrow goes on, and the stuffing that's put inside. We just ask people to bring out some clothes and various little tchotchkes to decorate. But once they're all done, we line them along the entryway at the Sullivan Center here until the weather gets to them and they start to get too droopy. We left them on a little too long last year, but we'll keep an eye on it this year. But it's just a nice thing to do for the fall season. It adds a little something to the entrance to the Sullivan Center. We also provide some donuts and apple cider just to add to the environment for that event. It's $18 for each group to sign up, and registration's ongoing. And for the second year in a row, we were fortunate enough to get the Polar Express Storytime train date that we requested. It's challenging. Metro's always been good to us, but there's just a lot of requests. And so what we do is we used to put the date that we wanted in our program guide, and half the time it would change. And so there's a lot of refunds and transfers. So what we decided to do last year, I think it started last year, was simply put a to be determined out there, and registration doesn't start until October 7th. But that way when people register, they'll know what the confirmed date is. And that date has been confirmed, which is Saturday, December 13th. So we have 3 trains at 9, 11, and 1:42. Just under 200, just under about 130 people per train. So we're just under 400 people total for the day. And it sells out in like an hour or two. At least most of them do. So what the main point I'm getting out here is that it says Monday on my report, but it's a Tuesday, October 7th at midnight, when the registration opens, it'll start popping right away. So if people want to do this, stay up a little later. We do open up the registration for non-residents on the 14th, but the chances are it would be full. Just that's the way it is. They're welcome to get on the waiting list in case anything opens. Some programming highlights. Our fall adult softball leagues have been continuing to grow the last few years. We had 20 teams in 2024. Now we have 22 teams. It was the co-rec program that had really grown quickly. And we have 7 teams. And this year we added 3 more men's teams. We have 15 teams in our 2 men's softball leagues. So really excited about that, starting on the week of September 8th. Our turtle swim program just finished tryouts recently for their fall-winter season. We restructured it a little bit more swim time, a little bit different age groups, but it's allowed for more growth as well. And we went from 110 children in the program to 125, so it's nice to see the swim team continue to grow. Thank you as always to Vernon Hills High School for letting us use their pool. It's our home base for the program. With this growth, we're using a little bit of the Lakeview Fitness for the youngest kids twice a week. Just wanted to highlight a few programs that are currently in our new fall program guide. We have some candle making classes. There's a youth class. There's a fall themed class and a holiday class being offered. Again, we've never done candle making before. We're offering some youth wrestling camps. That's something we're working with Vernon Hills High School. They're really trying to build youth wrestling programs. If we can get that out the ground, it'd be a great feed to the high school. There's some new strength training programs at Lakeview Fitness, as well as a new yoga called mindfulness class as well. So all those new programs, as well as some of the ones we offer every year, are currently open for registration. And finally, I just wanted to announce a couple of new sponsors that we have. Paulina, who handles our membership services and sponsorship over at Lakeview and Sullivan, secured Allstate Insurance as well as Whirlyball to be sponsors, and they are going to be sponsoring our Frights and Delights fall special event in October. So thank you and welcome to them. And that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Yes.
Just one comment, Tom. You have to be careful when you schedule some of these events. I noticed that Scarecrow event, October 2nd, is scheduled on a pretty big Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur. So,
the Scarecrow Fest?
Yeah, so you have to be careful when you schedule these things.
I'll make sure to share that too with the staff.
Tom, what's the highest age for the youth wrestling?
I believe it's 13, remember?
Yeah, it's geared towards tops out of middle school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You can be in elementary as well, but yeah, tops out of.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
And then next up is Facility Manager Lacey Marinenko.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Since launching our referral program at Lakeview Fitness, we have recruited 9
19 new members, which is really exciting for us. Maintenance week, although it seems like a long time ago already, went really well. It was at the end of July, early August. The sauna was completely refurbished, the lobby was painted, we did our preventative maintenance on our fitness equipment. Speakers were installed, so we have music going throughout the facility, which we're getting a lot of positive feedback on, and there was a deep clean throughout the facility. So overall, we were able to complete most if not all of the projects that we were aiming to complete over there. Our next appreciation day for members is September 27th. We'd like to thank JTO and Crescent Home Care for providing the refreshments for our members. I also want to remind all of our community members that our member appreciation days are free for guests. If they want to come in, they don't have to use any guest passes or free trials for that day. They can just come on in and enjoy the facility. And we have refreshments throughout the day that they can enjoy. So just want to make sure that our community members know that those appreciation days are open to the public, and also remind everybody that we do have that referral program in. So for our current members, if you bring in your friends and refer them to a membership, you get some benefits for it as well. Our member of the month coming up is Tammy Burke. She's been with us for 8 years, since 2017. In her interview, she shared that she has lost 150 pounds and has been able to maintain that for 7 years. So she's been a long-standing member, and she's a face that we see often. So congratulations to Tammy Burke. Some of our ongoing programs of one-on-one run coaching and virtual strength and balance have taken a break over the summer, but that is returning this fall. Lakeview Running Crew continues this fall also in September. A couple new programs are the Power Pairs Challenge and Toddly Zen, which starts on September 2nd. So for your toddlers and their adults who want to come in and practice some yoga. And the fall group exercise schedule starts on September 1st. I do also want to remind the community that Lakeview Fitness is open on Labor Day. We are open from 7 a.m. to noon. Some of our community outreach projects that we have coming up on October 11th, the Lakeview Running Crew is going to manage an aid station at the Des Plaines River Trails races at Old School Forest Preserve. The event features a half marathon, a full marathon, a 50K, and a 50-mile race. So we're proud of our crew that will be out there manning that table. And just quickly wanted to mention, as Kelly had mentioned in her SRA CLC report, Lakeview currently has 22 participants that are participating in that We Serve program. So some of our current members have taken advantage of that program, and something that we're really proud to be part of. So, and we do occasionally have water aerobics classes for those We Serve participants as well. And that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions?
Just a comment, the playlist at the Lakeview speakers, killing it, love it. Well done.
Do you like the disco?
No, I haven't complained about the disco, especially on Tuesdays. No, it's very nice to have, it's really nice to have music and have that different atmosphere, so it's great.
Like one of the main.
And it was the place is always kept clean, but when you walked in after that deep cleaning, you're like, oh yeah, I know this happened. It was very noticeable, so good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Anyone else? No, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next up is Parks Superintendent Mark Fleischman, and Mark brings a PowerPoint.
Just sharing with the board that our screens aren't working, but you have that information with you in your packet.
Wonderful.
It is not this one.
Okay.
Oh, it is working.
Oh, this one.
This one works.
Yeah, not the board monitor.
Good evening. How's everyone?
How are you?
Well, let me first start with the Carriage Green Playground. A lot has changed since I wrote this. So, so right at the day after the day I wrote this, Doug Overbrockling with Cunningham Recreation called me and told me they were going to start installing it tomorrow. So the playground has been installed. We have it closed off because we need to get an audit completed for safety. Make sure there's no pinch points or pattern tracks or anything like that. So we all know, we had a community meeting to get some community input, and we wanted to get the belt swings to work in our smaller space with the use zones, and there was a misunderstanding of how it was really going to fit in the space. So we are looking to replace the current belt swings and figure out a system that's
project, as I mentioned last month, we were getting prices to have some extra gates installed to block off specific areas of the pool for safety. If you have to close down an area, you can do that safely. So we are moving forward with a contractor, and the work should be completed this fall. The Turtle Creek Water Park Lazy River painting. As we know, September 1st is the last day of opening, Monday, for the Turtle Creek pool. We will run the pumps a little bit more, kind of let some of the chlorine out of the system before we send it back into the major water, Lake County's water system. So we try to get some of the chemicals out of there before we put it back into the water system. So we'll start draining the week of September 8th. We'll do some repairs to some of the joints in the Lazy River. And then the week of the 15th, parks and facilities will start paving. So if all things are good and the weather holds out, we will hopefully be done within a week or two. And then the Century Park storm sewer repair. So we were, actually Becca was driving around one day, and a resident mentioned that they noticed like a sinkhole by the shoreline over at Century Park. So she called, we went out and took a look at it and noticed that there was a storm sewer system for the village that runs there and drains out into Century Park. So we called the village, and it was a bigger project than they could handle, so they have to hire a contractor to come in and do the project. So the problem is there's a broken piece of reinforced concrete pipe. The broken pipe is creating that void, so obviously there's a hole in the top of the pipe, and anytime we get rain, it's just starting to fill through, and then it'll actually even push its way into Big Bear Lake. So we have those issues. The current conditions, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a hole created by the cone there on the left. And so the pipe is broken, it's either separated from the pipe before it, or it's broken. Obviously, we're not digging; it's not our pipe. And then you can see the head wall there; it's got some cracks in it, and so the whole repair needs to be done. So the project scope is the village is contracted with Lima Construction to remove the head wall, which is the wing wall that we saw, and 8 linear feet of pipe. And once removed, Lima will install 8 feet of the same pipe essentially, and the head wall. They are waiting for the water level to go down so they can install the head wall with the foundation as well. And then restoration is also included in the project scope. It was slated to begin the week of August 18th, but we did get a lot of rain over Ribfest weekend, so it brought water level up, so they've had to hold off for a little bit. But once started, it should probably take a week. And as I mentioned, completion could be delayed due to the necessity for the foundation for that. And that's my report.
Questions? Yes, please.
Mark, I have a question. Do we have to wait on the park, the new park?
Carriage Green.
Carriage Green, yes, excuse me. When the swing issue has to be corrected before we do the audit, or do we do the audit? Can we do the audit now? And
So our plan right now is to remove what we find to be a safety concern, the swings, and they can still audit the main structures. Swings don't really have a lot to audit because it's mainly just the pinch points, which around where the belt swing connects to it. So it's not. We can open it once we take care of that and we get the audit. The main structure can be usable.
Anyone else? Mark, what is our responsibility for the storm sewer? Will you just be out there and coordinate, or a member of your staff, or at this point is the village have someone supervising any of the work, and we're
the village,
just...
So the contractor will be managed by the village. Sergio Soto, their crew leader of streets and storm sewers, he will be out there making sure that it's done properly and making sure that the work's done well.
And for the pool painting, is that something that you or any of our staff have done before?
Yes. So last year, Mike Marquardt and John Ziegler, they painted both front pools. They even took the time, painted out the little the lines and everything. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we've done it.
Great. Looking forward to seeing that
Yeah.
improvement for the next
Yes.
year.
Me too.
Thank you very much. Okay. That's it? We're good? Yes? No, thank you? And Marketing and Communications Manager, Cheryl Buman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Most of the marketing department's efforts over the past month was spent on RibFest. I did put in my report a list of efforts we did, so you can just take a look at that at your leisure. We did send out 28 postcards to new homeowners who moved into Vernon Hills and Lincolnshire, who took residence from mid-July to mid-August. They have not been coming in to get the free gift, but I rarely get one returned, so I know that they are getting them, so hopefully they're coming into our building and introducing themselves to our front desk staff. Our Turtle Creek water park fund did phenomenal this year. It's not quite over. I have received another payment since I wrote this, so we have received over $80,000. Another payment will be coming tomorrow. Obviously, they're much smaller now. Our last weekend will be this weekend, so we'll probably just get one or two more small payments, and that will be it for this year, but it was a huge success. Our Lakeview Fitness website saw a slight decrease in their sessions and page views, but not to worry, this has been identical to usage in 2023 and 2024. It's the end of summer. The Switch Your Gym campaign ended in July, but there is a new one that has just started. It's called 5 Days, 5 Friends, so we will see an increase, no doubt, in the coming days even. Our district website, on the other hand, saw a huge increase, especially on August 15th. We saw an 84% spike in sessions, and August 15th, a 72%. So those are people who are coming out to RipFest, checking out the what's going on, so they don't miss anything. And again, we've seen that really the website activity with programs and events that we've done year after year. I can see a pattern. There's always a pattern. So this time of year after RipFest, it will slow down a little bit on our district website because people are getting ready for school and their efforts are put through that. But then as soon as our fall programs start coming, our Halloween events, we see a spike again. So it has been a pretty consistent pattern over the years. Our marketing specialist, Sam, he actually did the report for social media, did a fantastic job. I'm not going to go through it with you. I'll just give a little clip notes, but he wanted to tell a little bit more about what he does. So it's written in my report. But our top 3 posts for our district website was our Park and Recreation Month was July, and it focused on the opening of our playground, our community events, including Loop the Lakes, partnering with our local governments. Our second largest, most engaged post was our cicada nesting in the park. People are still concerned about that. And then our third one was just event updates due to our inclement weather. Unfortunately, we had a lot of things were getting canceled because of the rain, so that was another big one. For our Lakeview Fitness social media, we ran some paid ads promoting our Switch Your Gym promotion. It did so well, we extended it for the whole month. So that was a beneficial paid ad to do for Lakeview Fitness. And I just have all the information right before me. And that's all I have for tonight, if there's any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Question. Cheryl, did we do the Groupon last year?
We've done the Groupon every year for at least 4 or 5 years. Yeah, and
Any
we
idea?
doubled sales for this year.
Any idea what we did in revenue the year before?
I can get you the information. I do have it in my merchant. I have an online that I can get it for you. I don't know it offhand. But I know that it was, I believe it was around the 40,000 mark last year. But I can get that.
So this is probably double then.
Yes, it definitely is double.
Thank you.
I'm just enjoying the social media posts. I think they're really good, very creative, and yeah, so thanks. Several that just make you laugh, so good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for your report. And Executive Director Matt Laporte. Also with the PowerPoint.
Mine will not be up there, though. All right, good evening. I update on the Grosse Point renovation project. We have received 100% construction documents, and it's under review. We have until September 5th to look at those, and then we'll move forward with. We'll move forward with that project. So I guess the important to note is that if there's any board members that would like to review those documents, please contact me. We have run into one issue, and that's the restroom design. We need to provide enough amperage to heat the potential mechanical heating elements to be able to give that the necessary heat to get through the year. We are investigating, after conversations this week, we are continuing to investigate both electric as a viable source, which is what we currently have, or gas or solar. There is some work that would need to be done to get that from the source out of the street to the building. And so we're investigating how much of that we would have to do as part of the project versus one of the utility providers. We are looking, because of that additional investigation work, we are potentially, well, I would say we are on track to delay the bid release or bid letting, and then looking to bring this forward for award in the November meeting to the board, so instead of the October meeting. We still expect favorable bids with that timeline. Moving on, district has a safety committee, and we submit annually a predominant risk management grant application. This year we did it for portable first aid kits, which would be distributed to facility renters and contracted program directors. The request is for $1,150 to do that, showing that the district prioritizes safety for those that may be using the facility when full-time staff are not around. Recently, I did a review of our procurement policy within the administrative policy manual. This is 3.17, and this is due to Governor Pritzker signing Senate Bill 1612, which separated or increased the bid threshold for materials and supplies, separating out labor. Labor remains at $30,000 for the bid threshold, and materials and supplies has increased to $60,000. In consultation with corporate counsel, we just feel at this time there's no reason to change our administrative policy on that. We have a lot of different, means to procure materials and supplies, including a cooperative purchasing program, which is pre-bid, and also emergency procedures for purchasing. So at this time, I'm going to just recommend to the board that we wait and see if there's more suitable, arrangements or needs, practical applications of this bill, to the new law, to move forward with it. So simple things I could possibly think about would be equipment that's been, involved any labor or anything like that, but a lot of that's actually done through our cooperative purchasing program anyways. Last, I'd like to talk about Century Park pedestrian bridges. This is a presentation which I made some changes, so we'll go back up on the monitors. But in front of you, I've provided a map of Century Park bridges, so you can see which bridges we're talking about. And we are talking about the north, the east, and the south bridges. Sorry. So these bridges likely went in the 1970s. They were redone in early 2000 to include a new wooden base and middle structure, but the trusses are from the 1970s. The goal of this project was to consult with Christopher Burke Engineering to determine if there are any structural concerns. Staff visually noted that there are erosion concerns underneath the bridges, especially the east bridge. and we needed to determine if there was any structural damage or concerns. So basically, all three bridge substructures, the concrete bases that they're on, are in good condition. The trusses themselves, there's minor pitting. The floor beams and the stringers are in general good condition. We do have deficiencies, there is no deficiency in the load carrying capacity of the structures. Each bridge has a varying degree of stream bank erosion, so the sides of the banks of the stream of the water. With the east bridge having the most severe erosion, and that is going to be on the north abutment, north side of that. If you move to the third page of your packet, you can see we're going to move into the north bridge. In the photos on your packet, you can see the east abutment and the west abutment. This is more or less what it should look like. This is relatively good condition. No major issues. East and west embankments have moderate stream bank erosion, but nothing too severe. Well, work that we can do is noted later, but it's very minor. It's just basically widening the bridge beam seats. There's a picture of it later in your report, but what the bridge sits on. Moving on to the next page, where is the South Bridge. South Bridge substructure is in good condition again. There is minor work that needs to be done, roughly the cost of about $1,500. And that is mainly replacing the wall caps, which is seen in the southwest embankment photo. That is the wall that's there, just making sure those caps are sealed and remain on there. They do slide off, they fall off over time. You can see in the east abutment, there is an exposed footing. That is, there's a graffiti wall. If you look below that, there's sort of a ledge, and there is some erosion there that shouldn't be shown. So if you look back at the north photos, you'll see that that's fully covered. For both the north and the south bridge, the recommendations is continue to inspect those at an interval of 24 months. Moving on is the east bridge. As you can see in the photos, the erosion is severe in those on both the north abutment. The south side is not as bad. And that picture of the south side is continued on the next page. The piles that these abutments sit on are exposed. There is no structural concerns at this time, but the critical issues do exist. Recommendation is that we continue to inspect this every 6 months until we are able to, I guess, address these issues. And I can go into what those costs are in just a minute. If you go to the second page of the East Bridge section, you'll see what the south side looks like. You can see the erosion there. The cap is exposed on that lower support wall. And then the last picture is an illustration of that bearing plate that's not aligned and is overhanging. They are like that on all the bridges, and there's a minor cost to reseat that. So the recommendation on the North Bridge is costs about $18,000. There's what we would address is the approach. There's some pavement settling on the approach to the bridge. And then all we would do is continue to monitor the wing wall railings, so the railings, and continue to touch up paint so we can avoid the degradation of the material. The widening of the existing beam seats, which is the photo that I just discussed, that minor repair work for that concrete would be about $18,000 for that bridge, and that's both sides. We can use ADA funds to fix the approach on the North Bridge to look at and address the slope issue that's formed. Moving on to the South Bridge, that is probably our best bridge in our best condition, so minor repairs are $1,500 there. Continuing to watch the approach there, doing some asphalt patching as necessary, and again, we're just gonna be monitoring the railings and touching the paint, keeping those bridges clear of debris, so you don't have any degradation there. And then just constantly monitoring its conditions over 24 months. And as discussed, doing some minor wall repairs to include replacing the caps. That's about $1,500. Last is the East Bridge. As of 2023, the estimate was about $1.6 million. That would include stabilizing the stream banks using large precast modular block walls, called Ready Rock walls, and trying to do that as soon as possible. As you can imagine, during a high flow rain event, water comes channeling through a narrow area, right? You have these big lakes, and it channels through this narrow area, this force. That force erodes basically naked, wide open, dirt. There's no rock wall there to hold that water back and prevent further erosion of soft soils. Those blocks would reshore that up. This has been a known issue for the district for a long time, and it just was not addressed for a variety of reasons. So now the next step is for us to investigate ways to afford this and a timeline to do that. So that'll be part of our future recommendations to the board. That is an overview of the bridge inspection report. Happy to answer any questions on this project and any of the other items from our report.
Any questions?
Yes. A couple questions, Matt. Before I go into the East Bridge, when you get numbers for RibFest, if you could share with the board, I'd appreciate it. I don't know if you have them yet.
That'll be next month.
Okay.
That'll be next month.
Okay. So 1.6 million, 1.7 million. What do we do? Are there grants out there, or is this something that we subsidize 100% from for the park? Do we go to help go to the village? It's a big number.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of options to gain some funding for this. We'll explore all of those.
Okay. So there's no critical. This doesn't have to be done and repaired in a critical period, or?
I mean, it's measured as critical by the consultant, but it hasn't changed much since 2023. So it is something that they recommend that we continue to inspect. It's only going to cost more if we wait and there's degradation of the piles. So I need to work towards a plan, and that's what we'll be doing.
Matt, in our capital plan, remind us, we do not have any yet funds for this. In terms of this report, could we maybe also get just take a site plan of the park and just kind of show an aerial view of what those locations are for maybe next month or the future month?
Do you have this?
That's this one. Ah, that one. Okay, thank you. That would be great. And then when we go out for our annual park tour, I think it would be really nice to actually, these pictures are great, but for us to go out and make sure we see that and spend a little time talking about it, going into how the funding will proceed.
To address some of those things, it is not in our capital plan at this time, this current iteration of it, but as we know, that evolves and changes year to year as we identify new priorities. We have spoken to Congressman Schneider about this. This does not fit within his EPA grant, which is for water pollution, and this doesn't fit the boundaries of that, but it would treat the source of the issue, which is the CB ditch that comes into the lake. Commissioner Beaumont and I spoke with him about that back in early June. Additionally, there are Lake County stormwater grants that are available, and I do intend to pursue a grant for that.
Thank you. Well, I'll be happy to hear more. And then I just wanted to ask on the Grosse Pointe project, with it moving to November, so we don't I don't know what the contractor was planning to do in the winter months versus spring, so they don't feel like there will be any addition of winter conditions?
Yeah, great question. Construction wasn't supposed to start until spring anyway, so we were gonna
Okay.
do a September bid letting with award at October, so we're just gonna push that. It's, in talking with the architect and the landscape architect and the architectural architect. Speaking on that was just the building architect. Speaking on that was just simply most construction companies are in the heat of their season right now, wrapping projects up. October they would be slowing down a little bit, so we do believe that we'd still get very favorable bid numbers at this time. So.
Great. Albert?
Going back to our favorite topic, the East Bridge.
Yeah.
What is the lifespan of the Ready Rock walls? If we use that to prevent erosion, how long would they last once put in place?
I don't know for sure with confidence to be able to tell you that. I would expect a long lifespan with proper maintenance, but I wouldn't want to say for certain.
Yeah, I was just curious if we would have to do it every 5 years, every 10 years, if that's something we have to plan for, with future forecasting to make sure we put that in there.
I too guess it would be much longer than that,
I
but that's an
hope,
excellent
yes.
question, and we'll, I expect we'll hear more about that.
Correct. Yeah, we're aware of the issue. The year has been spent so far on investigating the issue and learning more. We commissioned this inspection, I want to say back in May, and we've been having a conversation regarding this with our local legislators for quite some time, keeping it on their radar as we continue to pursue this in general, the remedies to this in general. We do budget about $30K a year to continue to do lake shore erosion and address that. Mark and his team hired a contractor last year to do a significant portion of the lake, and we'll continue to do that. And that is in our capital plan, but this being a larger project, is something that we'd have to address. So. I mean, our guys keep painting the lazy river, we're saving money left and right. So.
Okay, all good? Thanks. Thank you, Matt. Okay, there are no commissioner committee reports or communication to be heard, and there is no board correspondence to be heard. We have new business. Item A is a district conduct ordinance discussion. Director Laporte, would you please review the proposed updates?
Yeah, I'm back on. All right. So, at the last meeting, we had talked a lot about e-bikes and addressing that and aligning the park district with some of the actions by the Village of Vernon Hills for ease of transparency, enforcement, and just kind of working together as one in our community. The village has pushed out their initiatives and how they will manage that. And as we moved forward to update our conduct ordinance, at first it was to update one aspect of the ordinance to just simply address e-bikes. But I've come to learn that there are a couple sections that are missing, and approximately about 11 additions, sections of our Chapter 3 of our conduct ordinance, which I felt required more comprehensive review by the board. So I'm asking that you guys review those, bring any questions forward. I can assure you that most park districts have word for word the same language, the same sections within their conduct ordinance for the additions that I provided. And that's due to one of the few prevailing law firms that serve multiple park districts are going to kind of copy paste, for lack of a better term, these different sections. And also in doing this, I realized that we're missing some key things that we're only going to expose the district in terms of liability. So this allows us to shore up some areas that were unaddressed and clarify some things for our park users. So I can answer any specific questions and go through them. Currently, I've had corporate counsel from Tressler review, and he's given me a few minor updates, and I'm waiting on Perderma Legal to give me their interpretation.
So this is, for this month, is just some comments. We're not voting on this, right?
Just requesting review and discussion.
What we have seen
Yep.
so far. Does anyone have any comments on what was redlined? Yes, Bruce.
So, I don't know if you've read, I got the Vernon Hills review this morning, and there was a big article on Deerfield and Highland Park. Basically, we're saying that no motorized vehicles are allowed on any of their paths or trails. Could we get rid of all this legal mumbo jumbo by saying, you know, if the board obviously agrees, that we follow the same thing, that we don't allow any motorized vehicle in any of our paths or trails in our parks?
Well, the way that these sections are written, the only motorized vehicles that we would allow would be Class 1 and Class 2 electric bicycles.
Because no one reads this stuff. And no one, you know, some guy comes in our park with a motorized whatever. You know, he's not gonna know Class 1, Class 2, or whatever. And wouldn't it be easier if we just said, nothing is allowed?
Well, I think one of the main things that was changed with this ordinance, and that, thank you for doing that, Matt, was research, and it's not the e-bike section. There are some key sections on what would emergency vehicles do, and et cetera. So keeping our district in line and with some key sections that were in there at all, I really appreciate that those are added. So regardless of what we decide with the e-bike policy, I think all the rest of what is in there is protected for our district. And yes, unfortunately, and people aren't gonna read our ordinance, but part of, not midnight reading, but having it in there does protect us when there are some violations. So having that type of data in there is important for us. So a majority of that isn't the e-bike issue. I do think it's important that we do talk about that generally. I mean, just the other night, I was on a village sidewalk, and, you know, 3 kids in, you know, the bigger motorized bicycles, and I'm like, wow, they're really, there's a lot of them around, and how do I feel? And they really, you know, they come at you fast. I would just like to state my opinion of the e-bike situation for Class 1 and for Class 2. I like the fact that we would be looking what other park districts do, but also acting kind of as a leader in recreation to get more people out in what I think is a reasonable type of bicycle, and get them in our parks and able to enjoy recreation and good health. So for that, I like that. But it's for sure obviously a board decision. But I think we should lead that. You know, in a discussion I had with Matt, this might seem obvious, but it didn't to me, so I'm just gonna say it out loud. We were talking about what the village allows or doesn't allow, and it's on sidewalks, and then I'm thinking, sidewalks are different than paths. And I mean, mentally, I just didn't make that connection until we were having a conversation. And so we're talking about what's allowed in our paths versus sidewalks. So we're not in, we're still working in partnership with the village. But I think it's important to hear, I'd like to go around and hear what the other commissioners feel as well. And we will not be voting on this tonight, but giving the staff and Matt additional feedback, I think, is helpful.
I just want to add,
Sure.
for these communities like Highland Park and Deerfield, and I know Libertyville also, it's everything. It's sidewalks, paths, trails. Everything is included. So.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't have an official position tonight. I don't want to state that I'm for or against banning or allowing everything, but I do see both sides of it. But safety is the ultimate concern. And so we've got to make sure that we're considering everyone in the community, not just those who own e-bikes that want to be able to ride them.
Absolutely. We
We have
always,
to be in tandem with the police in the village, so
yeah.
more to come, and hopefully we can get there soon.
Yeah, more to come, and we do have a meeting next week, Tuesday, with the police chief and our state officials, because there is some more things that we think we can do regarding maybe legislation that's statewide, because, you know, someone isn't gonna be biking along and then like, oh, I hit a different municipality or different park district, and then take a sharp turn or try and wonder what's allowed somewhere else, so that'll be important to do. Do you have any preliminary thoughts or questions or things that you'd like the staff to bring back to us, Nancy?
So I agree, safety is the main concern for everybody. And in that, I don't see a whole lot of difference between class 1 and 2 and regular bicyclists. And it just happens that it's a new thing, so there's more of them out there right now. I think user education is important. So kids that get bicycles that don't have any motor on them need to learn how to ride a bike safely, just as kids who get class 1 or class 2 bicycles. I don't think they should be riding in the grass or riding 3 across the path, but people on bicycles currently do that, just that there's a lot more of these out right now. I also think that there's been a lot of backlash in these communities that have banned them completely. If you read online, tons of people write, where are we supposed to ride? How are we supposed to get from one place to the other? There's bike paths that connect all of Lake County, and they go through these communities. If you're on a designated Lake County bike path, why can't you ride your bike continuously? So there's 2 sides to this, and I think that it's the safety of both sides.
Yeah.
It's the biggest concern, and I think that's where we need to balance it. As far as people reading rules and following them, the village already bans all electronic scooters. I see kids riding those all the time. So, and adults too. So, if they're not getting in an accident and they're riding them responsibly, I don't think anybody bothers them. I don't think most people know that that is a rule, to what you said. But when it becomes a problem, there's at least recourse for the village to take because they have banned them.
You're gonna have a problem when somebody gets hurt.
People get hurt on bicycles. I got bit by
Yeah.
a dog this week on our path, so
Wow.
I mean, it happens for a variety of things.
I just like
We
to
can't
be,
protect everybody. We need to
No.
educate people on how they should carry themselves when they're using equipment, when they're driving a car, when they're riding a bike. And our responsibility is educating our users of our properties.
yeah, my feeling is I'd rather that we be proactive instead of reactive to some of these issues.
I do, obviously you've heard, to summarize, where, and we know you're not asking us to vote on that tonight. Want to just say that it will be nice to hear Commissioner Dorhofer's opinion as well. Can you get more information on what park districts in our area, if anyone has made some changes recently on e-bikes, and imagine maybe in your group that's coming up for discussion, and any additional feedback for us. I also think that with the education, I would echo, it is important, and I think with the increased social media presence that we're getting, that's one of the tools that we can use. I'm picturing some really good, posts about whatever it is that we decide, and helping to educate the public that way as well. Just something important for us to decide, and I think we're at the beginning stage, because now e-bikes are becoming popular, so we'll have to make a decision. Anything you would like to?
Yeah, if I can address those. In pushing this forward again, like I said, I would say I probably took, I don't know, a dozen or so conduct ordinances from park districts that have recently been accredited, so they're going to be the best in the state. And I took the ones that are local, Lake County.
Okay.
And then I looked at the ones that I think, reputation-wise, are doing things that are progressive and forward-thinking. These are written in a way that protect the district from liability if somebody is doing something they're not supposed to be doing in our park district. There is no way that we can police somebody riding their bike on a ball field or through the grass areas, nor can we do the same if it's an e-bike or a motorized vehicle of some sort, or a vehicle that we consider a car or a truck, right? None of those things we can stop. We might be there and we might be able to address it in the moment somehow, right? Or call authorities. But if something happens, some damage happens, an injury or something of that nature, we aren't held liable. We haven't given you permission to do that. So the only permission that we allow when it comes to bicycles and e-bicycles is that you can ride on our paths. And when it comes to e-bikes, it can be a 1 and a 2. We don't say that you can ride on athletic fields, tennis courts, sidewalks, or anything else. And that is the same intention. And if anything, I think it's a continual modification of this to address the new technologies that come forward. But we also have to wait for it to be regulated and defined at the state level. Yeah. We can't make laws and enforce laws that aren't written at the state level. So.
Good discussion.
Yeah, Matt, I've seen young kids in go-karts.
They shouldn't be.
Zooming around our parks.
All right, and they shouldn't be.
That's.
Thank you. Okay, now we have a next new item of business that we are voting on tonight. So ordinance 0525 is an ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain anticipated unexpended funds between certain items of appropriation set forth in the combined budget and appropriation ordinance of the village of the Vernon Hills Park District for the fiscal year beginning June 1st, 2024 and ending May 31st, 2025. May I have a motion to approve ordinance 0525?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
President Senti.
Yes. Okay, and our item C for new business is the Peterson Park train replacement recommendation. Superintendent Fleischman, would you please present the recommendation?
Yes. So a little background, the train play structure at Peterson Park was installed in 1999, 26 years ago. And it's scheduled for replacement in this year's capital improvement plan. Looking at the budget, a replacement structure was budgeted for $16,000. After getting our first quote, we realized we needed to go out and get 3 quotes because the first one we got from Game Time at $34,764.61. So we reached out to Play Illinois, also BCI Burke. They have a structure. So you look, there's a PowerPoint with all the structures if you want to take a look at them. Yeah, let me go get that. Perfect. So that's what we currently have in place. That's existing. And so what we're looking to do, this is Cunningham Recreation's or Game Time's structure, trade structure. What we have out there in the rest of the playground is Cunningham Recreation Game Time. So we can match color, we can match hardware, we can do all those things. You call the vendor, it's gonna be Game Time. You don't have to think about who to call, you don't have to call 3 different people to figure out whose structure it is. Next, so we have the Play Illinois BCI Burke. This is what their train structure looks like, more geared towards younger crowd. And there's less spots for hiding. So it's a nice structure. It's really, what? It's 2.
We can only fit like 2 pieces in the playground.
Yeah, it wouldn't be all 4 pieces. It would be 2 pieces based on what the use zones require. Thank you, Matt. So this came in at $20,719.19.
So at what point are you getting less play element there? You don't get 2. It's smaller, so.
Correct.
Okay.
But if we get two, would it be less money than the 20,000?
We can't.
No, that's what the quote was for the two.
Oh, for two.
And we can't fit any more than that in that container space.
Okay.
And then finally, we reached out to New Toys or Landscape Structures. This was the initial rendering he sent me. I believe we changed up to make it fit in our use zone, one or two minor items. As you can see, the structure is most closely matching what is out there, kind of, because it's got, you know, enclosed walls, kind of, you've got the more caboose feel there in the back. But to install this one, it was $48,245 for the structure. So, looking at our funding, obviously we are over the $16,000 budget. But we did have some $18,000 in savings from a couple other projects, $11,000 from the equipment purchases we needed this year in our capital line item. We saved, and we opted not to do the brick painting or steeling at Lakeview, and with the Lakeview pool pump and steamer, we saved $7,000 in that line item. So that puts us at the $34,000 budget we could use. Staff is recommending option one, the purchase of a train structure for game time for the $34,764.61. As I mentioned, it matches what's out there. They can match color, they can kind of keep it in line, and it's all from the same vendor.
Mark, can you remind the board what is the age range for Peterson Park?
It has all structures from 2 to 12.
2 to 12.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
there's two sides. So there's one side for 2 to 5 and one side for 5 to 12.
Okay.
This is not one of those two structures. This is like an ancillary structure it's like a third structure.
So you can see it's separated. The structure right behind it is your 5 to 12, and then to the left of that little shelter is the 2 to 5.
And Peterson Park, I think it said in our board minutes or our packet, had about 10 years left
Yes, yeah.
in its life expectancy.
Yep.
So I didn't realize till I saw this picture, it's been a while since I've been over to Peterson Park, so that's in a separate area, but it's part of that. I mean, one of my concerns was just that we're buying a new piece that is double the budget, and then in 10 years, when the rest of the park is being done, would we have a use for that? Does the community, do we know anything about how often they're enjoying the train or not? Are
Yeah.
people over there?
So when I was originally looking for the originally installed date, they used to put a plaque on the curb.
Oh,
And we were looking at it, and Jerry Hughes was out there, and a woman came up. She goes, "Are you getting rid of this?" Or, you know, she's like, I take pictures with my kids in front of this all the time, like as they're aging every year, you know. So they were, you know, people do like it. I've been in town since 88, 89, and I've always known it as the train park. I mean, it's kind of, it was a wooden train originally, and then this was installed.
It's unique to all the parks. No other park has a feature
Correct.
like that in Bergen Hills.
And actually, now that you say that, it reminds me, I was speaking with a different vendor who gave us a fourth quote that was 60,000, so we didn't even put it in there.
good choice.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of them, like the train sets. I mean, we contacted, 4 vendors, and they all have a one, but there's, the one that was 60K was custom, and it was built out for the museum that's out in Union, so.
So 10 years
a unique
from
feature.
now, the thought would be that this train is gonna stay there.
Correct.
And then we would ask the neighbors what else they want in the remaining park and leave it at that range where there's a section 2 to 12?
Yeah.
That's our intention?
Yep.
Okay.
For today. I mean, a lot
I
can
know,
happen in 10 years, so.
I recognize that, but it's still a big chunk of money for understanding that.
If I can address that, I do want to point out that I did some rough calculations, because we had talked offline about the same concern. I do want to share that, we have received $240,000 from a DCO grant for capital. We have what we estimate, and this will be in the next quarter update for capital, but we have recently received a quote for the shade structure project out at TCW, and we're estimating around $120,000 savings on that. The pricing came in really favorable, and the number of replacement chairs that we need is not as many, I believe. So we're right now roughly around $120,000 savings on that. And then the decision to do the pool painting has led to about $140,000. So we're roughly about $500,000. So some of that would go towards our bridge project, our overruns for Grosse Pointe. So I feel comfortable making this recommendation.
Does anyone have any questions?
I have a couple questions. Why are we replacing this or thinking of replacing this?
You want to address that? You want me to address?
No, go ahead.
It was built in 1999.
Okay.
It's 26
I
years
was
old.
built in 1948.
Still going strong.
Continue, Matt.
End of life. Keeping things on a schedule for when it need to be replaced, so that you don't get out of schedule and all of a sudden several things that you've deferred on need to be replaced at all at one time. We have the funding for it. We can do this.
Is there an option of just taking it down or whatever and not doing anything?
It's always an option.
It's an option, but you are taking an amenity away.
You're taking what?
An amenity away.
Mhm.
And I think we have historically seen when you take something away, the loss of something is usually a negative for the community.
Carol?
And a unique, yes, please.
I was going to say, we've established end of life. We've established we already had 16,000 budgeted. Mark highlighted all the savings that we've found over the year. As you mentioned, there's at least one community member, and I'm sure a whole lot more that identify with a train being in that park for as long as it's existed. And it is the only train structure in our parks and several other parks that I can think of in our area. So it is a unique thing to our park system. And I think number one, option one, having the continuity of the vendor so they'll know exactly what colors, exactly what maintenance. I think it's, in my opinion, a no-brainer.
Well, thanks specifically for pointing out that it's very unique, just like what we've done with Kids Castle, and people identify with that, and we like to have those unique parks, so I didn't know that. Any other comments or questions, or are we ready to do?
I just want to say, we had this discussion, but I wanted to reiterate, you said that not only is it end of life, scheduled to be replaced, but it needs it. We're not doing it just because the budget at this point tells us to, because we could wait 5 years and budget money into it and say, but if it...
Yeah, if I may, look at the photo. Look at the vibrant colors in the background and look at the colors in the front.
And what's wrong with number 2 in saving $15,000?
It's a step down in design. I think it's a smaller play structure. It is a matter of opinion. And I take the direction of the board, however way the board would like us to go.
So, I mean, I think,
You need some kind of a
we
motion,
need to
yeah.
do it via motion, right? So, may I have a motion to approve the purchase of the train from Game Time at a sum of $34,764,061?
So motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
No.
President Senti.
Yes. Okay, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Beaumont, do you have any comments tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say this is my first summer as commissioner, and I've attended events that I have attended in the past as a regular resident, and I attended some new events to me and new events to the Park District this summer also, and I've noticed that everybody in the Park District works on every event in some way. And I really appreciate how everybody comes together as a team to make things happen, especially in the summer where it happens after hours a lot of the times, because we have those extra hours and it's great. And I know the community appreciates it, and I just want to say that I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Commissioner Jacobs?
I wanted to compliment everybody that put up Root Fest, took down Root Fest, put up Root Fest, took down Root Fest, endured the torrential rains. You know, it was a wild weekend, and I think everybody did it professionally, safely, and still with a smile on their face, even though it was pretty challenging. So, nice job.
Yeah. Commissioner Robbins?
Nothing this evening.
And I would echo, feel the same about the comments that were made, and just also wanted to say, hey, thanks for staying through our whole meeting. Extra kudos. It is very nice to have our staff come and have the board who doesn't have a chance to interact with you as much as the staff does, and see you here and know that you're interested in what we do as well. So welcome and thank you, and congratulations on promotions. Always nice to see you too, Jay. And so thanks for that. Having addressed all the items on the agenda, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins. President Senti.
Yes. The time is 7:31 and the regular meeting is now adjourned.